Okay, good morning, students.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. You're so beautiful, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. So, before we start our lesson, so we have our prayer first. So, Miss Charlene, can you lead the prayer?
Okay, so let us all stand. Last minutes. So sa mga nakamulos, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who sin against us. Pray, Father.
Okay, please sit down. So, as what I have observed that almost all of you are sleepy, so can you have just 1 minute energizer?
Yes,
ma'am.
Please.
Ma'am, my body is not cooperating. You can have yours here.
Marissa, can you make the lens? Okay, go.
It's high over community. It's high over community. It's high over community. It's high over community. All over the ocean, all over the sea, all over the ocean in the deep blue sea. All over the ocean, all over the sea, all over the ocean in the deep blue sea. It's you, it's you, it's you, my community. It's you, it's you, my community. It's you, it's you, my community. It's you, my community. All over the ocean, all over the sea, all over the ocean in the deep blue sea. All over the ocean, all over the sea, all over the ocean in the deep blue sea.
How are you feeling, students? Yeah, I see. So, before we formally start our lesson for today, so may I know who's absent?
No, none, Mom.
Okay, I am so glad that all of you are present today. So, but before anything else, we have the class rules first. So, first, what will you do if someone is talking in front or your classmate is sharing ideas? Miss Charlie?
Listen, Mom.
Very good. So, what will you do? If you want to raise your hand or answer my question.
Raise your
Okay.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Oh, raise my hand, ma'am, and answer the question that you're given.
Oh, very good. And wait, I see that there are many pieces of papers. I want to pick them up and erase the writings onto the board. Because I don't
Ma'am, you can erase the writing on the
Mom, we
board.
don't have any eraser.
I see.
Permanent,
This,
Mom.
oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
That's permanent, Mom.
So, okay, take your seats. Arrange. So, now, since last meeting, we are talking about the technical and operational definitions. So today, I have to ask you a question. My question is, how can you define love? How can you define love?
For me, ma'am, love is unconditional. Aside from love is unconditional, for me, ma'am, the definition of love it is something like you know how to understand each other by trusting each other, give and take not to each other, and also by valuing the effort of each other. Because for us to be for us human, and also for me as a person who experience that kind of like love. Kuan siya ma'am, parang dili lang daw siya love ma'am, yung sila ma'am kay love ma'am kay kuan daw. Check lang.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Jolly Mark. So let's give a hand to Sir Jolly. I see that Miss Lizelle, you're raising your hand. What is
love?
Okay, please.
For me, love.
Wow, po niya ma'am.
For me, love is when you, love is when you sacrifice something for someone.
Ma'am,
Miss Charlie.
hindi ko ba yung kaya? Hindi ko
For me, love is a relationship between two persons wherein isang paglagyo mo or dugo mo, but the love for each other will remain.
Oh, very good. Yes, that's true. Okay,
Ma'am, please don't
Sir
ma'am.
Ellie.
I think there is no definite definition about love. It doesn't mean someone is doing efforts to you, he or she loves you. Or it doesn't mean that he or she says, I love you, whatever word is that. It doesn't mean that person really loves you, because there is no such thing, no such exact definition about love. I think it is just the way how you treat people, like you can consider it love, or even, hindi naman siya inuman love, but kung nag-effort lang tao, it doesn't mean malove na siya. It may be responsible or utang na loob or whatever.
Ma'am!
Okay, Sir Jolly Mark. That's actually correct, Sir Ellie. Very good. What?
Ma'am! Ma'am, love. I agree with the opinion of Mr. Ellie that there is no definition of love. But when we do something that is good in the eye of the opponent or in the eye of the person, it is love. It is love. It's not just compliment, because, for example, you're helping someone. So if you're helping someone, then you're just helping them because she needs help. So
But
it's
you
fun.
feel that there is love in you.
Yeah, because so if you help them with your heart, if you help him or her with your heart, so that's the definition of love. Because we cannot define love by saying, but we can define love in action. So that's the. But
I think
it is easy to say now that I love you, but it's hard to.
Okay, yes. All your answers are correct. Because love can be defined into different contexts, and as what Sir Ellie told us a while ago, that there is no complete definition of love, because love is can be unexplainable, that can be defined into different concepts or different contexts, but there is no such a concrete definition that we can give to that. So, in my as we go further in my discussions, we will be tackling about how can we define words, how can we define words and make it to be to give a clear idea or explanation towards the person. So, our
Sayang naman.
so my objectives is at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to give meaning of expanded definition with its techniques, and then identify different techniques used in writing an expanded definition, and the third, write a good expanded definition of terms. So now, in order for you to understand clearly what is expanded definition, so expanded definition, please read Miss Mitchell.
Expanded definition, also known as extended definition, explain the meaning and nature of something, like word, concept, or object, that goes beyond dictionary definition. When a complex term become ambitious or unclear, an expanded definition could be given to make it clear to understand. It can be written in one or more paragraphs.
Okay, thank you, Miss Michelle. So, expanded definition. This is not just a simple definition or a full definition that you'll be given into a certain word, but it is a extended or expanded definition that can give an idea what is a word all about. It can add up clarity to your misconceptions nimo kay dili ka satisfied sa usalang bitaw niya kapitan. Wait na. As we go on, we will know what is expanded definition is. So, before we will tackle all the techniques of expanded definition, we will go back to the very basic, because this formal sentence or definition, this serves as the base in order for you to go beyond the expanded definition. Okay, a sentence definition or formal definition consists of three parts: the species, the genus, and the differential. So, species, this is the term or the concept to be defined. And the general class to which the term or concept belongs, that is genus. And number three, the distinguishing characteristic is called the differential. The relative conjunctions such as who, that, where, when, and which to introduce the differences. So, ang concept, for example, ganina, love, multiply, species. Oh, species. Then, ang kung ako siya nagbilong, love, for example, emotion. So, mo na niya ang genus. Then, ang katong characteristic, nag-ingon nyo ganyan, love sacrifice, love is helping, hindi na siya mabilong sa differential. Okay. So, for example, sadness is an emotion associated with or characterized by feelings of disadvantage, loss, despair, grief, helplessness, disappointment, and sorrow. So the species is sadness, then the genus is an emotion, and the differential is associated with or characterized by feelings of disadvantage. So yan ang ikuan dito, yan ang i-describe na the disadvantages, loss, despair, grief, parang ayun na sadness, muli na yung sadness. Okay, biology. Biology, species, genus is a branch of science. Differential that deals with living organisms. Okay, accepted? Did you understand?
Yes,
Okay. Okay, next. According to RIAS 2020, there are techniques for extended or expanded definition. So, first, we have the etymology. So, etymology explains the origin of the word itself. So, let's take a look at the example. The word sadness. So, ang yung example sa etymology is, the word sadness comes from the Old English word sadness, which means sorrow or gloominess. So, what technique of expanded definition is emo, it is explain as origin the word itself. Okay, that will help you to describe or define the word. To explain the origin of the word itself. Second, history. Okay, you are going to explain the history of that word. So, for example, sadness is a universal human emotion that has been studied and written about centuries in literature, philosophy, and psychology. Ancient Greek philosophers like Aristotle and Plato considered sadness to be natural response to loss or disappointment. Second technique for expanded definition is cause and effect. It discusses how the situation came about and what effects it may have. So, pag imong mag-define ka sa word, tapos butangan mo siya cause and effect, it will help a lot. What was the word all about? What is the definition of that word? What was that word? What the word is all about? Yeah. So sadness is typically caused by loss, disappointment, or unmet expectation. Oh, pag yan kayo na loss, disappointment, unmet expectation. So makaya na ka that's sadness. So the effect of sadness is an emotional state that can lead to feelings of hopelessness, despair, and lack of motivation. Fourth, description. So when you are going to define a word, an expanded definition, you have to list and define the component parts. So for example, sadness is an emotional state, so describe na siya, that is characterized by feelings of sorrow, grief, and melancholy. It is often accompanied by physical sensation, such as heaviness in the chest, tears, and a lack of motivation. So, ang description, describe lagi siya as describe. Sa cause and effect, yung mga nakita nila nga, the effect of sadness, kung sa epekto sa sadness. Dito sa description is, nag-describe lang siya as describe lang siya. So, that's the differences. Fifth, principles of operation. So, it discusses how topic in question functions. So, including any materials or conditions required. So, for example, sadness operates by achieving the body's stress. So, kung sad ka, na stress pa rin mo ang lawas. So, muna yung ang principle dira, which triggers the release of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. So, this can lead to physical symptoms like racing the heart, rapid breathing, and increased muscle tension. So number 6, classification. So this will help a lot when you're going to do an expanded definition. So it shows how the topic fits into a larger category. So, kung saan man kayo isakto sa sadness, kung saan man kayo kauban sa sadness. So, sadness is classified as a negative emotion and is often grouped together with other negative emotions like anger. So, kanilay sadness, kapila na siya sa sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. So, number 7, contrast or negation. It shows how the topic is different from the others. So, in the same class. So, for example, Miss Christona, read the example of number 7.
The opposite of sadness is happiness, which is characterized in positive emotions like joy, contentment, and excitement.
So, can I ask a question? So, what have you noticed? What have you noticed the contrast or negation? What have you noticed in the example?
So in the example, if it is a contrast of the sadness and happiness.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Christona. Yes, this will help a lot when you are going to expand the definition. You are going to contrast the word so that it can be clearer to your readers or to your listeners. So next, comparison. So shows how the topic is similar to other in the class. So, ano siya diri maklaro na bitaw kayo nimo nga ay mas maklaro nimo ang iya ang kwan ba kung sa libot pasabot biday sa word nga sadness pag magamit ka og comparison. Number 9 is analogy. It explains by comparing two dissimilar topics where the second is familiar to the audience. So, Mr. Jolimar, please stand up. Can you read the example of number 9 and then explain what you have noticed?
Sadness can be compared to the weather, as it is an emotional state that can change quickly and unpredictably, much like the weather. Tama.
Okay, so what do you think that one of the technique for expanded definition?
Okay. Between sadness and the weather,
Yeah.
that's ano. What is your question again, ma'am?
What is your question?
My question is, what do you think? Why do you think that that example can be good? That technique can be a good technique to write expanded definition.
Okay. Because, ma'am, the word sadness, no? Kasi the definition of analogy explained by comparing two dissimilar topics, whether the second is familiar to the audience. So sadness is compared to weather. So it's something like something like this. Okay. Sadness. The word sadness is compared to weather. Okay, just like the weather, no. The sadness is dissimilar. Weather is familiar to the audience because where the second is familiar to the audience, weather is dissimilar. So there's a comparison. No, they compare. In a comparison.
Yeah.
Between sadness and weather.
Okay, it's okay. That's okay. That's correct. Mr. Ardeline.
Based on my understanding of
Okay.
analogy explains by comparing two similar topics where the second is familiar to the audience. So, the example is sadness can be compared to the weather as it is an emotional state that can change quickly and unpredictably, much like the weather. So, weathers have lots of changes. Like we have weathers like rain, then it will go to sana po. Then we can compare sadness to weather because maybe kung ang weather is kanaang ulan siya karon, so sadness can if you are sad, if you are sad, muyak ka, then makumpare
Tomorrow,
ka sa
you better.
yes,
That's
if
what you
happy ka, sa weather code it's sunny. Then if sad ka, ang weather code it's either kanang makulimlim, sad. Then if kanang cry or emotional ka, the weather is kanang nag-rain or kanang nagbulag na.
That's why unpredictable, ma'am.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
all your answers are correct. So let's give a hand to the yeah, sadness can be compared to weather because your emotion can change anytime. Just like the weather. It can change anytime. Okay? Okay. Number 10, example or anecdote. Tells a story or example that illustrates the term. So, para mas masabtan pa dyan kayo siya, kung sa diday feeling ano masad ka, okay, pwede mo siya tagaan ng situation. When I lost my beloved pet, I felt an overwhelming sense of sadness that lasted for weeks. I cried often and had trouble sleeping and felt like I had lost part of myself. So, from reading that kind of statement, makainom na dahil yung readers or yung listeners na sadness, what do you mean sadness? Makakalo na bang mag-gets na dahil nila. So, expanded definition is so powerful. Okay, number 11, sensory characteristics describe how something looks, feels, sounds, tastes, or smells. So for example, sadness can be accompanied by physical sensation such as tears, heaviness in the chest, and a lack of energy. It can also be expressed through facial expressions like curl, growth, a downward turn of the mouth, and the lack of eye contact. So based on physically or kind of sensory characteristic. And the 12, problem solution. So states the term defined represent a problem or solution. So the solution to sadness is often to address underlying cause, whether that can be through seeking support from friends and loved ones, seeking professional help, or taking steps to change the situation that caused the sadness. So, in order for you to understand what that word really means, so you can also provide a solution to that problem. So, ano siya, support from friends daw, seeking loved ones, professionals, or taking change para ma-change ang mga situation. So, 13, on-site purpose. So, in every page, there is a purpose, right? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, and all you have to do is to find strength behind your struggles. Turn your pain into purpose. So, that is what I am trying to say in number 13. Okay. Oh, that's those are the 13 techniques for a good expanded definition. So, kung isang up to tanong dito ganina, katong one sadness, kani ang magawas niya. Nahimo siyang one paragraph. So, can you read this, Claire?
Full definition. Sadness is an emotional pain associated with or characterized by feelings or disadvantages, loss, despair, grief, helplessness, disappointment, and sorrow. It is often accompanied by physical sensations such as weakness, fatigue, and lack of energy. Sadness can be triggered by a variety of factors, including personal or professional setbacks, relationship troubles, the loss of a loved one, or feelings of isolation or loneliness. It is natural and normal human emotion that can serve as a signal to help us process and cope with the difficult experiences. However, when sadness becomes persistent or overwhelming, it can interfere with daily life and may be a sign of more serious mental health conditions such as depression.
Okay, thank you so much. So, what can you say, Mr. Jolimar?
Ma'am?
When you are going to read the full definition itself, not red, makasulat sa red na kuwan.
It's fully understandable,
Can you-
ma'am.
Okay, you.
Very understandable, ma'am, because it includes the definition, the examples, the meaning of the origin the full definition of sadness, ma'am, involves the 13 techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why very understandable, especially in the reader.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Jolimar. So, let's give a hand to Sir Jolimar. Yes. That is how expanded definitions can be so important when you are going to define a word or a term. Okay, masabtan hindi mo siya kung tayo into kind of different context, into context ikaw kung kailangan mo pasagot. Okay, mo na mga atag na nanuto sa tayo ng mga. Okay, so what are now? I will ask you what are the 13 techniques of expanded definition.
Knowledge.
Okay.
Sensory characteristics.
Oh, very good. Miss Donna. Claire.
Etymology.
Okay, very good. Miss Charlie.
Analogy.
Very good. Miss Shee, Mr. C.
History.
Oh, very good. Sir Jolimar.
Cause and effect.
Very good. Miss Lizelle. the techniques for expanded definition. Now, we have an activity dividing the class into two groups. So, choose a word that you want to know. Write in the center of the paper, brainstorm the words synonym, antonyms, or related words and concept. So, based on your word map, collect all your answers and construct them to end up an expanded definition of that certain word. You will be given 5 minutes and count yourselves 1, 2. Rexel, 1. Here 2.
3.
2. 1. Okay, Charlie.
2.
2. Okay, time starts now. Write on one half piece of paper. So, is my instruction clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, finish or unfinished? Time's up. So, pass your papers, group 1 and 2. Okay, thank you so much. So, what have you found out from the activity? Miss Michelle?
Through the instructions we discussed, Mom, we can be able to extend the words that we have used in them.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Michelle. So that is how an expanded definition can be so important for us to be able to be better readers, writers, and communicators everywhere. So it can help us to use context clues and figure out the meaning of the unfamiliar words and how to use new words in our own writing. So it is when you learn to ask questions about the words, meanings, use, and context in order to gain a deeper understanding of its definition. So this is in real life. So a lifelong learning where you are encouraged to continue learning new words throughout your life. So we have next activity. In a 1/4 sheet of paper, identify the techniques used in the following statement. So we will be doing this orally. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, number 1, Miss Lee.
Number 1, intelligence comes from the Latin word intelligentsia, which means understanding. So my answer, Mom, is no.
Etymology.
Etymology.
Okay, very good. Let's give a hand to Miss Micheline. Number 2. Who's number 2? Miss.
Nagyagaman. Duties.
Okay,
Beauty is anything that gives pleasure to the senses, especially sight. It can be physical appearance as well as qualities such as grace, charm, and elegance. Sensory? Huh? Sensory, Mom.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's give a hand to Miss. Uy, dahil kayo mo. Okay, number 3. That's the
Yes.
easiest technique that you can do when you're going to describe or define a word. Miss Claire, number 3.
Intelligence refers to ability to learn, understand, and apply knowledge and information, understanding, description.
Yes, very good. Okay, let's give a hand to Miss Claire. Number 4, Miss Rexel.
Literature is classified into prose, poetry, and classification.
Okay, very good. Let's give a hand to Miss Rexel.
The freedom that we enjoying now was fought by our mighty heroes.
Number 5 is history. That's
Okay.
history. Yeah, so that's history. Okay, this is the answer. Etymology, description, and then comparison, and then that's comparison. Classify the prose, poetry, and drama. Okay, classify na literature sa. Okay, compare. Okay. Next, assessment. Please write an expanded definition of success and please use a combination of 3 to 5 techniques. Because expanded definition, it doesn't mean that you are required to use all those 13 techniques when you are going to define a word. 3 to 5 techniques will do. Yes, will do. So, okay, class, your 5 minutes starts now. Okay, are you done?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, pass your papers forward. Okay. Okay, and the last we have assignment. Find a word that catches your interest. Create a visual representation of the word and its expanded definition. So this could be a drawing, diagram, or infographics. You'll pass it next meeting. Okay. Have you take notes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just take a picture of the number. I will send the instruction on our GC. Okay, I think let's call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so happy to have you guys. I hope you learned everything that I am discussing here. Okay, goodbye, class.
Bye, ma'am.